Hello, did you know that there's a room that can drive you mad if you stay in it for too long? What would a 125,000 euro slogan sound like? Or why is it that you usually can't swat a fly? Welcome to Mind-Blowing Facts, Anechoic Chambers. The hustle and bustle of life often makes people yearn for relaxation in quiet spaces. To be in a quiet space is quite easy. You just need to go home and close the door, or for those with small children, simply telling them to be quiet will do.
Shut the fuck up!
However, finding an absolutely quiet space is much more challenging. Let me introduce the concept of the Anechoic Chamber, a room designed to completely absorb any echoes of sound waves. They are also usually designed so that sound from the external environment cannot penetrate inside. This combination ensures that the sound you or a sound measuring device hears inside an anechoic chamber is the most direct and authentic sound, completely devoid of echoes, a simulation of sitting in an infinitely large room. In fact, anechoic chambers are often dubbed the quietest places on Earth, so quiet that they are rumored to cause hallucinations, or even drive people mad if they stay inside too long. To isolate an anechoic chamber from external noise, thick reinforced concrete walls are often built, and to eliminate echoes, thousands of triangular sound-absorbing materials are affixed to the four walls, ceiling, and even beneath the floor. Sound, after entering between these triangular materials, will keep bouncing around until it is completely absorbed by the walls. The title of the quietest place in the world, recognized by the Guinness World Records, belongs to the Anechoic Chamber at Microsoft in Building 87, Redmond, Washington. It has been confirmed as having the lowest noise level ever recorded on Earth, only negative 20.6 decibels. To give you an idea, the human hearing threshold ranges from 0 to 130 decibels, where 0 decibels is the threshold at which you can't hear anything at all, and 130 decibels is the threshold where you can only hear it once, because after that, your eardrum will rupture and you will become deaf. To give you an even clearer picture, according to Microsoft's research team, the noise created by randomly moving gas molecules in outer space is only negative 23 decibels, meaning that the silence inside the quietest room on Earth has nearly reached the theoretical limit of quietness. Returning to anechoic chambers, anechoic does not mean that you can't hear anything at all. Just as your eyes adapt when you enter a dark room, your ears also adapt when they stay in a quiet space for a long time. The quieter the space, the more you will hear sounds that are usually drowned out by various types of noise, from the sound of swallowing, the sound of each breath, the beating of your heart, the contractions of your lungs, the sounds in your stomach, the creaking of your joints as you move, or even the sound of blood flowing through your body. It's not an exaggeration to say that in an anechoic chamber, your body becomes a source of sound. The experience inside anechoic chambers is often described as uncomfortable and disorienting. Uncomfortable because in daily life you are always surrounded by noise at some level, which means that air always exerts a certain pressure on your eardrums, helping your body understand that there is a lot of empty space around you. In an anechoic chamber, no sound reaches your ears, creating a sensation similar to being in a cramped, enclosed space, like a small cardboard box or a coffin. And we all know that the syndrome where a person is extremely afraid of small, enclosed spaces is called claustrophobia. Even if you don't suffer from claustrophobia, being accustomed to the presence of sound in daily life can make you feel restless, anxious, or tense in an overly quiet space, Prolonged stress can cause the human mind to create sounds to compensate for the absolute silence, leading to hallucinations or madness. Disorientation occurs because humans orient themselves, or rather determine their position in space, based on what we hear as we move. The absolute lack of echoes disrupts spatial awareness, making you confused and unbalanced. You may even be unable to stand steadily if you stay too long in an anechoic chamber with no light. Moreover, farts that you can easily cover up in everyday life will become extremely vivid, authentic, and impossible to deny in here.
Turn to page 6 in the handout. The first thing you're going to notice is a bar graph, and what that is to indicate our international sales, which peaked, of course, during the last quarter, but now we're expecting that to drop off as we enter the colder weather.
The storm's moving away.
A slogan is a short phrase or a memorable statement that conveys an idea, a message, or a purpose, often associated with a family, a brand, a business, or a religious or political organization. Some famous slogans include "Impossible is Nothing" by Adidas, "Think Different" by Apple, "Just Do It" by Nike, "It's Finger Lickin' Good" by KFC, and "Don't Be Evil" by Google. Speaking of slogans, in 2007, the Scottish government spent €125,000 to create a new slogan for their tourism industry, also known as the smokeless industry. The result of the research conducted by the best marketers in the country after half a year of effort and a considerable amount of money was, "Welcome to Scotland." Humans tend to eliminate things that annoy them, and flies are an example of this. But I bet there have been many times when you've gotten frustrated because you couldn't swat a fly. The reason swatting a fly is a high difficulty game is simply because you're too slow compared to a fly. Indeed, according to an article published on The Independent, trying to swat a fly with a newspaper is like trying to shoot at quicksilver. Not impossible, but very difficult. A study found that the information processing speed in a fly's brain is nearly 7 times faster than that of a human, which means that a fly perceives time almost 7 times slower than we do. This also means that the swift motion of your hand aiming to swat a fly, which you think is lightning fast, appears almost like a slow-motion video to the fly. More broadly, a study published in the journal Animal Behavior suggests that time perception is relative and is related to the size and metabolic rate of organisms. According to this study, dogs process information twice as fast as humans, while for a leatherback turtle, time seems to pass 3 times faster. In most cases, an organism's perception of time aligns with its physical characteristics, just like in the case of the fly, which has evolved to be able to fly away just before your rolled-up newspaper strikes. Did you enjoy this video? Let me know what you think in the comments below. If you liked it, hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the notification bell so you don't miss out on future videos. For now, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.